Hello everyone, welcome to New Wealth Japan. I'm thrilled to have you here today. This channel is dedicated to helping travelers from around the world discover and experience the very best of Japan. From ancient temples and historic castles that have stood for centuries, to the vibrant world of anime, unique Japanese souvenirs, and incredible cuisine that will tantalize your taste buds, we cover it all. Japan is a country where tradition meets innovation, where you can enjoy a traditional tea ceremony in the morning and explore cutting-edge technology districts in the afternoon. It's this beautiful contrast that makes Japan so fascinating. We're passionate about sharing hidden gems, travel tips, and cultural insights that will make your Japanese adventure unforgettable. Whether you're planning your first trip or you're a seasoned Japan traveler, we've got something special for you. I'm truly grateful that so many people from all corners of the world share this passion for Japanese culture with us. Your enthusiasm and curiosity inspire every video we create. So sit back, relax, and let's explore Japan together. Let's get started.
Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're tackling an absolute icon. And this isn't just some old building. It's a true survivor, with a 400-year story of being destroyed and reborn. This is the magnificent Osaka Castle.
You know, when people talk about the great castles of Japan, this one is always in the conversation, right up there with Tokyo's Imperial Palace and Nagoya Castle. So, what's the big deal? What's its secret? In this explainer, we're going to break down the key elements that make this place so unbelievably captivating.
Okay, let's just start with the raw numbers. Get this. A staggering 2.5 million people visit this site every single year. That alone makes it one of the most popular historical spots in the entire country. And what's really interesting is who these visitors are. While it's a huge national treasure, look at this. Almost a third of the visitors are from overseas. So this isn't just some local favorite, it's a full-on global phenomenon, which really proves its incredible international appeal. So how do we explain all this? Well, we've broken it down into 5 key parts. We're going to look at its dramatic history, its totally unique architecture, the beautiful grounds, the amazing museum inside, and, last but not least, its perfect location. Okay, first up, you really can't understand this castle without digging into its absolutely wild past. This is probably its biggest draw. This place isn't just a building, it's a survivor, for real.
So it all kicks off with this guy, its founder, Toyotomi Hideyoshi. His life is literally one of Japan's most legendary success stories. I mean, born into a peasant family, he climbs all the way to the top to become the most powerful man in the country, unifying Japan after a century of chaos. So the castle, it wasn't just a house, it was the ultimate symbol of his power and his massive ambition. And its history? Wow. It is just this insane cycle of being built up and then torn right back down. It gets built, then totally destroyed just 32 years later. It's rebuilt by new rulers, only to get burned down again centuries after that. The version we see today was actually paid for by the people of Osaka back in 1931. This whole cycle of destruction and rebirth, it's like a powerful mirror of the history of Japan itself. So all that conflict, it's literally baked into the architecture. When you look at the castle, you're seeing something that was designed for 2 totally different and pretty extreme jobs. And this is the contrast that just defines the whole place. On one hand, it was this dazzling palace. The main tower, or keep, is 55 meters tall, and it was covered in all this gold leaf with golden carvings of tigers and cranes, basically designed to scream, "I'm rich and powerful." But on the other hand, it was an almost impenetrable fortress, protected by these massive stone walls and nearly 12 kilometers of moats. It's a work of art and war machine, all in one. But, you know, it's not all just cold stone and shiny gold. The castle is also this living, breathing space. It's surrounded by a huge park that offers a totally different kind of beauty. And when I say huge, I mean massive. We're talking over 100 hectares. To give you some perspective, that's like 260 acres. It's this vital green lawn right in the middle of one of Japan's biggest, busiest cities. So what this means is, it doesn't matter when you go, you're going to get a totally different but just as incredible show. You've got the world-famous cherry blossoms in spring, the fiery colors of fall, and then the quiet, stark beauty of winter. The park keeps the scenery in this constant, beautiful state of change. Okay, let's head inside the main tower. You might be expecting some dusty old rooms, right? Wrong. What you actually find is a super modern, multi-story museum that just brings the castle's history to life. And it's just jam-packed with cool stuff. You can see real samurai armor, learn all about Hideyoshi's incredible life story, and even see a full-scale replica of his famous golden tea room. And they use modern tools like VR experiences and audio guides in a bunch of languages to make this really complex samurai history easy to get for a modern, global audience. Then you get to the very top, the 8th floor, and wow, the view is just breathtaking. You're standing inside this 16th century icon and you're looking out at the sprawling, futuristic skyline of modern Osaka. It's the perfect picture of how this city's deep past and its dynamic present just live right alongside each other. Okay, and finally, let's talk about something super practical that plays a huge role in its popularity. I mean, a place can be amazing, but if it's a pain to get to or costs a fortune, people just won't go. And this is where Osaka Castle just absolutely gets it right. First off, location, location, location. It's smack dab in the middle of the city, surrounded by train stations. So whether you're a local just popping by or an international tourist, getting here is remarkably easy. And then there's the price tag, or I should say the lack of one. The main park, totally free to enter. And to get into the main castle keep itself, we're talking about 600 yen. That's less than $5. You get to experience this world-class historical site for a totally reasonable price. So, when you put it all together, what's the secret sauce? It's that Osaka Castle manages to be so many different things all at once. It's a gripping historical drama, an architectural marvel, a peaceful natural escape, and a super user-friendly museum. Which leaves us with this one big question to think about. Does this incredible icon really represent the ambition of one powerful guy who built it centuries ago? Or does it truly belong to the city of Osaka and its people, who have rebuilt it time and time again, refusing to let its story die? We're giving you the insider's playbook, distilled from local guides so you can have the perfect trip. So, you think you know how to visit Osaka Castle. You've probably seen that postcard shot a million times, right? But actually navigating the grounds like a local, skipping the crazy crowds, and knowing which exhibits are actually worth your time, that's a whole different ballgame. And that's exactly what we're going to do right now. Think of this as your personal guide. We're going to walk you through everything, from the planning you do at home all the way to that incredible view from the top, making sure you skip the lines, see the real highlights, and just make the most of every single moment. All right, first things first, let's talk about the single most important decision you're going to make. Timing. Seriously, getting this right can make or break your entire day. Okay, here it is, the #1 insider tip. You've got to be there right when the gates open at 9 a.m. For that first hour or so, it's pretty much just you, the castle, and this amazing morning light for your photos. Wait any longer, and suddenly you're sharing that exact same view with what feels like 1,000 tour groups. And you know, the time of year you go completely changes the vibe. Spring? Yeah, you get those world-famous cherry blossoms, but you also get world-famous crowds. Autumn is just gorgeous. Great colors, perfect weather. But if you really want to feel like you have the place to yourself and just soak in all that history, a quiet winter day is honestly your best bet. Just a couple of quick pre-visit tips that will save you a ton of hassle. First, buy your ticket online. You get to just stroll right past that massive queue. And second, I cannot say this enough, wear comfortable shoes. The castle grounds are huge, no joke. Okay, so you're all prepared. Let's get to the fun part, exploring the castle grounds. The journey to the main tower, the keep, is a huge part of the experience itself. Don't rush it. I know, the temptation is to just make a beeline straight for that main tower, but trust me, don't do it. Start your journey along the outer moat. That's where you get a real sense of the incredible scale of these massive stone walls. If you follow this route, you'll naturally end up in the main bailey, which is, by the way, the perfect spot for that classic iconic photo. And while you're there, to really put the size of this place into perspective, keep an eye out for the takoishi, which means octopus stone. It's the largest single stone in the entire wall, and it weighs an incredible 130 tons. Just try to imagine the sheer manpower it took to move that thing centuries ago. You know, one local guide put it perfectly. They said when you're standing in front of that wall, you will be overwhelmed by its power. And that's exactly what it feels like. It's this genuine sense of awe, you know, at the sheer human ambition that built this place. All right, time for the main event. Let's head inside the 8-story castle keep. Now, what you'll find inside is basically a modern museum, and it's dedicated to the castle's absolutely fascinating history. Okay, so you're going to see an elevator inside that can take you straight to the top. Here's my advice. Skip it. Seriously, take the stairs. The whole museum is designed to be experienced chronologically,
from the bottom up. So by walking, you're literally climbing through Japanese history as it unfolds floor by floor.
And each one of those floors offers something new, a different window into the castle's story. You'll see these amazing artifacts, really dramatic dioramas, and it all builds up to the grand finale on the 8th floor, that incredible 360-degree observatory.
Look, if you're short on time and can only see one key exhibit, make it the one on the 3rd floor. It's this dazzling, full-scale replica of the Golden Tea House, which was built by the legendary Toyotomi Hideyoshi. It is just a stunning display of the immense power and wealth he had.
Okay, so you've seen the main sites. Awesome. Now let's get into a few pro tips that will take your visit from just great to absolutely perfect.
Right, so everybody gets that classic photo from the main plaza, but you can do better. For a really beautiful shot with flowers or fall colors, you gotta head to the Nishinomara Garden. Oh, and here's another pro tip, come back after dark. The castle is lit up until 11 p.m., and it looks completely magical.
So what about food? Well, honestly, your best bet is to grab a bite before or after your visit. The options inside the park are, well, they're pretty limited. But the areas around the nearby train stations, they are packed with fantastic restaurants where you can get a proper, delicious meal.
And hey, your journey doesn't have to stop when you walk out of the castle gates. In fact, you should think of the castle as a hub, a starting point for understanding the whole city.
For example, just a 10-minute walk away is the Osaka Museum of History. I highly recommend doing both on the same day. It just gives you this incredibly rich picture of the city. You get the past at the castle and museum, and then you can dive right into the amazing, vibrant energy of modern Osaka in a place like Dotonbori.
So before we wrap this up, what is the one final thing you absolutely have to remember?
It's this: please be respectful. This isn't just another tourist spot on a checklist. It's a place of deep cultural significance, and it's cherished by the people of Osaka. So just be mindful, not just of the rules, but of the fact that you're walking through a living, breathing piece of history.
And that's really what it's all about, isn't it? Osaka Castle isn't just some building you snap a picture of. It's a journey through time. It's a bridge that connects the age of the samurai to the neon-lit Osaka we know today. And now, with these tips, you won't just be visiting, you'll be truly experiencing it. But a little bit of prep work is what turns a potentially stressful day into an absolutely unforgettable one. So let's get you ready for an amazing visit.
Because let's be real, this is the choice that so many visitors face. You've got this beautiful, historic fortress in your mind, but the reality can sometimes be long lines, confusing grounds, and a few unexpected hurdles.
But don't you worry, that's what we're here for. We've got the insider tips from people who've been there and done that, all to help you navigate the castle like a pro and make sure your visit is just perfect.
Okay, so our journey actually begins before you even step foot in the park. Success here is all about that prep work.
First things first, timing is everything. If you visit during the cherry blossom season or Japan's Golden Week holidays, just know you're signing up for some massive crowds. For the best shot at a smoother experience, try to aim for a weekday morning, maybe arrive right when they open. Or here's a little pro tip. If you don't mind a bit of drizzle, a rainy day can be your secret weapon for dodging the worst of the crowds. All right, next up is your pre-trip checklist. We're talking cash, water, a game plan for your bags, and shoes. And listen, we'll get into the details on a few of these, but I cannot stress this enough. Comfortable shoes are going to be your absolute best friend on this adventure.
Let's talk money for a second. You might be used to just tapping your card for everything back home, but at Osaka Castle, cash is definitely still king. From some ticket counters to the little snack vendors, many places are cash only. You really don't want to get caught without, so make sure you have enough yen with you.
And this is a piece of advice you'll absolutely thank us for later. The park does have some coin lockers, sure, but there aren't many, and they get snapped up in a flash. The much smarter play is to use the bigger, more plentiful lockers at the train station before you even start walking over. All right, so you're prepped, and you've arrived. Now you face your next challenge, the park itself. And trust me, it is massive. You know, saying the park is big is a real understatement. To give you some perspective, we're talking about an area that's the size of 23 Tokyo domes. It's just vast, it's beautiful, and it's surprisingly easy to get turned around in.
And that massive scale has a very real impact on your day. Just getting from the train station to the base of the main castle keep, that's a solid 20-minute walk.
And that's before you even start the real exploring.
So, let's talk strategy. First, grab your water before you enter the gates. You'd think there'd be vending machines everywhere, but they're kind of hard to find inside. Next, use your phone's map to keep your bearings. And try to spot the major landmarks, like the Odimon and Sakarmon gates, to use as reference points. And please, especially if it's hot, take breaks.
You've made it through the park, and now you are at the main event, the Castle Keep. But getting to that amazing view at the top presents its own set of challenges. The moment you step inside, you're faced with a critical decision. Do you join the long, winding line for the elevator, or do you take on the stairs?
So here's the trade-off. The elevator, yeah, it saves your legs, but that line can easily be a 30-minute wait, sometimes more. The stairs, there's no wait. Plus, you get to see all the cool historical exhibits on your way up. It's about 150 steps, so if you're able to, the stairs are actually the faster and, honestly, more interesting way to go. Now, as you're checking out all those amazing artifacts in the exhibits, you might start to notice something. A lot of the detailed descriptions are only in Japanese. So how do you get the full story?
This is where the audio guide comes in. Renting one of these is, as our sources put it, a worthy investment. And I couldn't agree more. It's like having your own personal tour guide, unlocking the history of everything you're seeing and turning a good visit into a great one.
And hey, if you need to ask for help, a little patience goes a long way. The staff are super helpful, but their English may be limited. Just try speaking slowly, use simple words, and a translation app on your phone is an absolute lifesaver. Oh, and having your hotel's address written in Japanese is always a smart move.
Okay, let's put it all together. We've taken all these tips and boiled them down into your essential tourist survival kit for conquering Osaka Castle.
Here it is, your audio guide for the history, a translation app for communication, plenty of cash for all those little purchases, those comfy walking shoes for the journey, a water bottle that you bought beforehand, and a fully charged phone to navigate it all. With this kit, you are ready for anything.
So there you have it. You've got the strategy, you've got the tools. The lines and the long walks aren't frustrating obstacles anymore, they're just part of the adventure you planned for. You're prepared to conquer the castle. The only question left is, are you ready to have an amazing day?
You enjoyed exploring this part of Japan with us. If you found this video helpful or entertaining, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps us reach more travelers like you who love Japan. And here's the most important part. If you haven't already, please subscribe to New Wealth Japan and hit that notification bell. By turning on notifications, you'll be the first to know whenever we upload a new video. We post new content regularly, featuring different destinations, food experiences, and cultural insights across Japan, so you won't want to miss out. Now, we'd love to hear from you. Do you have any questions about what we covered today? Is there a specific place in Japan you'd like us to feature in an upcoming video? Maybe a particular Japanese dish you're curious about, or a cultural tradition you want to learn more about? Please share your thoughts, questions, and suggestions in the comments below. We read every single comment and your feedback helps shape our future content. Also, if you've been to Japan before, we'd love to hear about your experiences. Share your favorite memories or travel tips with our community. Let's learn from each other. Thank you so much for watching and for being part of our New Wealth Japan family. Your support means the world to us. Until next time, safe travels, and see you in the next video. Sayonara.